respect as well, to go back to one of our previous topics, you need some openness, you need some
Mm.
vulnerability, you need some honesty about those barriers, and those guidelines that you want to set people for communicating with you or interrupting you. And I think that, again, Toastmasters, the applications of our meeting, for me, a big respect that is often trodden on is people's time. There's so many unnecessary phone calls, interruptions throughout the day, because people are prioritizing their own time and their own need kind of versus yours. And something that is very much stuck to, or trained and taught in Toastmasters meetings, is the timing, not going over timing of how long you have to speak or your specific role of that point. It's something that's practiced and taught very highly, as well as respectful feedback. I, as a leader and a manager before kind of my Toastmasters journey started, the thought of giving someone in my team in work feedback, or a 360, or an annual review, whatever name it might have in your business, it filled me with absolute dread, because it was like, I have to tell them what they've done wrong and I have to tell them how to improve. And it's not about that. It's about that respectful evaluation and building on the lifelong learning about how you can do better. And Toastmasters teaches that really well, in terms of that respectful evaluation that doesn't infringe on anyone's sort of trust or abilities. It's a very respectful evaluation about how we can improve things, and also about what they're doing well at that point as well. So that's been a skill that's really integral to the manager and the leader that I am today.
Yeah, I think that's a really good reflection about how, the evaluations we give in our club meetings actually are really good lessons in respecting people, because you it's also the way we deliver them, right? So we say, I believe. So it's not about saying you speak too fast. It's about saying, I felt you spoke a little bit too fast. I struggled to
Yeah.
keep up with some of the content you were sharing. If you could, take more pauses, if you could speak a little bit more slower, I would have, I feel that people would be able to fully understand you more. So it sounds very simple, but when you use that kind of language in doing evaluation, in evaluating your staff or giving feedback to your peers, if you say to them, I really like the way you did this, but I found X, or we didn't hit this goal, and I feel maybe if you tried X, Y, and Z, it would help you get there. So it's about having a conversation about achieving goals or improving performance, not telling them what they did wrong as such, and then saying you have to do better, and then they're not empowered to make any change. So yeah,
Yeah.
having mutual respect. And do you know, funny, you were talking about the meetings at Toastmasters, and when I think about mutual respect there at work, I think managers who don't lead enough, they might say, right, we're having a meeting about X, and then it's sort of just them talking at their team. That's not, or
Mm.
saying, why haven't you got this done? Why haven't we got here yet? Whereas when you ask your team to help you put the agenda together, and you might start the meeting by talking about people's different wins and challenges, it brings a very different perspective to the whole team about why. I'll give a really good example. Like, if my photographer's not got everything photographed, so it's holding up the team from listing products on our website, and then we have a conversation with him, and he says, "Oh, my big challenge this week was I needed to redo a bunch of trade brochures because the directors were going to a networking event, and we needed to get some sorted for that." And you go, "Oh, okay." So he had other things thrown at him, which challenged him to be able to deliver on his regular tasks. So if we work together in a mutually respective way when we're planning meetings or talking about projects, we can fully understand the whys behind different things. And funny little things that might come out, such as their computer's not working anymore, so they don't, their computer's not performing as well as it used to, so it's taking
Yeah.
them minutes longer to do every task. So if you don't show that respect for your team and what they might need or what they want to talk about, there's such little pieces of information that can come out that you'll go, oh, let's buy you a new laptop, and suddenly you're much more efficient, and they will feel like you respect them, because you are giving them the tools to do their job properly. And so yeah, I think the meetings in Toastmasters has made me realize, like, keeping them to time, and making sure everyone sort of gets a say is really important.